Okay, hello, welcome to episode 48 of No Holds Barred Pod. That is Sal Dodgson.
And that is John McGowan. Welcome, everybody.
Hello, welcome back, and welcome newcomers, one and all. Episode 48, 2 to go to the half century. And we would have had another one last week, but apologies, I'd forgotten I was going away to Wales at the weekend. I literally didn't know until Friday morning. Well, I did know, but I didn't remember. So we didn't get a chance to do a second episode last week, but hopefully we will this week later on, because I think
So the news heard you were going away, and they went, lads, let's just calm it down while Don's away. Nothing to see here.
It's been really quiet. Nothing much has happened over the weekend. So we got a bit to talk about. I was saying to Sal before the recording, I haven't actually made any notes, but I've got a few bits of reform stuff that I've been writing about the last week or so I want to talk about. We're going to have a look at what's happened today, which is Monday the 9th. Escapades within the Labour Party. We may get some breaking news as we're recording, because Starmer's at the PLP right now, isn't he? So he's meeting them literally as we're recording. So it might be, I'll keep an eye on my phone's up there. I'm using it for video.
Just going to reach for my televisual buttons.
Yeah, it might be worth sticking Sky News or something on in the background just in case. Yeah, he's right there with the PLP right now as we speak. So that might bring something before the end of the recording. Sorry, go on.
I know we were talking about it with some pals earlier, but I don't really fucking care, to be honest. For me, as a human person in my position, it makes no odds. They're all just a gang of bastards. But as a person with like an insight into politics, I just don't see how his position is sustainable. I
know. I think what I said earlier in our little politics group, well, it's not that little, but our politics group, as you was just sort of talking about, I don't think he should resign just yet. I just think it's just then another 4 months of absolute chaos when they find someone else to take over. I think play it out to the May election, see what happens then. He's going to get us stuff in. We know that. But maybe then lead up to the summer, things calm down in global affairs, and there might be the time for it. But I think in terms of, the country, I don't think we could do with a leadership election just yet. But I mean, I'm not.
Oh, look, notwithstanding,
I'm no Starmer fan.
There's nobody on the front bench that I would trust to look after a houseplant.
Exactly. So, that's it. This is the problem we have.
We all know they're going to get absolutely stuffed in May. So they just need to limp through to May with that knobhead in charge. And then hopefully by which time Rayner's business will have been sorted out, and at least there's a relatively safe pair of hands to pass to. Whatever unsticks the Overton window for me, to be honest. Because it's just mental.
Yeah, it's very far right at the moment.
And do you know what? I don't like the old I told you so business, because I find it quite facile, generally. But in matters of like national importance, if he'd have come in and one of his first orders of business had been Leveson 2, would he be here now?
No, of course not.
Would he balls?
No. So, yeah. Sorting out press regulation and media. Yeah. It would have made all the difference in the world, wouldn't it? Completely. Could have. I mean, there's so many big decisions he could have made which wouldn't have really impacted his polling or anything like that, like Leveson too. And we could be in such a different position than we are today with Starmer, and the Labour Party having done some good in the first 18 months rather than, bits, drip, feeding little bits of good things, but then flip-flopping on so many other big things, which he's done. So, I don't know.
For all of them coming out, giving it, Starmer's so wonderful, it's only 18 months, things take time. Do you know what doesn't take time? Giving massive tax handouts to billionaires and big corp. That seems to happen instantly. And, it just the click of a finger. Yeah, that doesn't take time, does it?
Nope, it doesn't. But I guess all the groundwork was already laid for him with that stuff with the Tories, wasn't it? They've been at it for 14 years. So
that's not how it works.
No, you're right though. I know I'm being facetious, but yeah, you are right.
We
Obviously,
have to disagree.
yeah. I know. I'm not going into bat for Starmer
Oh,
in this episode, just in
no,
case
no.
anyone listening
I'm just
wants
getting
to
it off
sort
my
of.
chest.
No, yeah, absolutely, same. But like, I'm just putting in my little disclaimer before we go for. But I can see the reasons why we shouldn't change him right now. I think
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
totally
think
agree.
he will. I don't think he'll see out his 4 years because I think it, as you just said, it's untenable at some point, especially if he loses. I don't know how many seats at the by-election would he have to lose?
And I'm
Not
not.
at the local election. Sorry, like 150 or something. Not by-elections, but local elections. But
I think you have to like view this as a very, very poor team in the Labour sort of cabinet or a team.
mm,
To have a good team, and I know I say it a lot, but to have a good team, you all have to be working to the same ends, and those ends, for one, shouldn't be Israel or
well,
Russia
true.
or big
Yeah.
business. It should be for the
Or
best
Trump.
thing for the
Yeah.
people of this
Yeah.
country, the people of this country. And if that's what you're working for and you're not the best person for the job, you recuse yourself and somebody better steps up. The problem
Mm,
we've got here is that their team has been so mismanaged by the worst people on the planet, literally the Red Dominic Cummings of this world,
yeah.
that they don't
That's good.
have any other players to field because they just
No.
have a team full of cans, absolute cans in boxing parlance, absolute wasters who shouldn't be. They're
What's
over
a cam?
promoted. In boxing
Sorry.
terms, it's just
Yeah. Yeah.
somebody who fills a gap in a space, who
Oh,
fills a
okay,
fight
fine.
so that the other fighter can get a win. They're a space holder.
Placeholder, right? Okay, got you.
Yeah.
Fine. Sorry, I
And
didn't know what that
that's
was.
what
Yeah.
all these business people cosplaying as politicians are, a shit
Mm,
team, because politics isn't a business and never can be a business. Running a country is not a business.
mm.
And I'll come full circle on that. The end.
Okay,
I
good.
just
Sounds
wanted,
good.
that they're
Yeah,
all the chickens are coming home to roost. Is it chickens
that's
that
the
come
one.
home to roost?
Yeah,
Good.
chickens.
Right
Yeah,
bird. Excellent.
yeah. We're getting our idioms right off the bat today, and we're not making them up. Chickens. Yeah, that works. That's the one. Yeah. I don't know. Like, do you want to carry on with Labour as we're talking about it anyway? Like, what happened with oh God, I forgot his name. Morgan McSweeney yesterday, Sunday, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I was I sort of driving home from Wales and sort of stopped in at friends for a coffee and looked at my phone and there was, I don't know, like 50 WhatsApps in the politics group, and I was like, oh, something's happened.
Finally.
I was like, something big must have happened because there's like 50 notifications on the WhatsApp. But yeah, so yeah, McSweeney's gone. Yeah, as you said,
Good.
finally. Yeah,
And
good.
turns out his family in 2023, it's borderline Tory. It's Tory COVID behaviour. In 2023,
Nepotism. Yeah,
their family, Morgan McSweeney's extended family and parents, set up an HMO business for housing migrants.
yeah,
The very same time, his son is literally over the water trying to get rid of migrants.
yeah. I
It's all
didn't
right.
know
They
that
only
until you
made
told me
something
about it.
like €8 million in 2 years, so that's fine.
So, like literally having migrant hotels, is that? Yeah, I know, it's
Yeah.
very strange. Yeah, that was the first I'd heard of it when you told me before we pressed
Tory
record.
playbook.
Yeah, very much so. Just one for thee and not for no, one for me and not for thee, sort of
Yeah.
thing. Yeah,
Oh,
I know.
it's almost like he was directing them to do it with his strategy here.
Mm.
You couldn't let it off the university.
But
Oh, and
he
my
is
God.
what?
Just I thought on Saturday I'd woken up North Korean. The amount of tweets. Our dear leader,
Oh, yeah.
Keir Starmer's wonderful. Leave him alone. I support him. All these
Yeah,
tweets are sounding ever so familiar.
yeah. I saw a lot of that. Well, when you pointed it out to me, I went and had a look. There was definitely a lot of maybe bot activity, wasn't there? Very reform tactics of propping up the
Well, a lot
the
of them are like
leadership.
old accounts.
Were they? Like, I've been
Like
around for a while.
when the Tories were doing it, it was terrible type
Yeah.
accounts. Pick a lane.
I mean, he has got a lot of support, to be fair, because I had LBC on this morning. I was out in the car this morning as well, and most people phoning into no, it wasn't this morning, it was this afternoon. Sheila Fogarty were in support of Starmer, most of them, and the same with Tom Swarbrick. Sal's making a face at the television. Something's happened.
Sorry, just a sideline.
Mm.
Oh, I want the quote that came up just before, really. Oh, Palace ready to support Andrew police probe. The
Good.
wrath is upon us.
I mean, to be fair, they couldn't not, could they? They couldn't.
They could just ignore it like they have done for the last.
Well, they have, but I mean, it's overwhelming, isn't it? Now the
abolish the monarchy. Sorry, back to McSweeney.
Yes, well, yeah, we'll come back to that in a minute. But yeah, what was we saying? I can't remember. Yeah, I mean, it was just it was a long time coming. We've been talking about it since we started this podcast about how bad the advice Keir Starmer's got and the communications, because they had a communications director allegedly who stepped down today as well. I noticed.
As Tom said,
Tim Allen.
Yeah. To quote Tom, were you as surprised as I was that they have a director of communications? That was a shock there.
Yeah. And I was even more surprised that it was the comedian Tim Allen.
Tool time.
But it would make, yeah, exactly. It would make sense though. The amount of
joke.
Yeah.
Full circle.
Connections.
Ooh.
I think he, yeah, no. Long time coming. He's been forced into it with the Epstein Files, as we know, with Peter Mandelson, all the shit that's come out with him over the last couple of weeks. But we knew about it before he was appointed.
Everyone knew about it.
Everyone knew. Yeah, we all knew. Everyone knew. Starmer should never have appointed that man. He should never have listened to McSweeney. McSweeney should have been hoofed out a year and a half ago. But here we are. And
McSweeney, they all should have been hoofed out when we found out it was a scam.
Well,
and chickens are a roosting, you imbeciles. Good. I hope Jeremy Corbyn is just luxuriating in all of this, because God love him.
I mean, he won't be though, because he's quite a nice person, and he won't. Yeah, it'll be feeling.
I'm sure there'll be an ounce of Schadenfreude in there somewhere. Come on,
maybe. Oh. But he will feel sorry. He'll have empathy for Starmer, won't he? Because he knows what it's like. But yeah, but yeah, maybe not. So things took an even more interesting turn of events at lunchtime today, didn't they? When
with off and on again presses.
Yeah,
Keir Starmer's holding a presser. No, he isn't. Anna Sarwar's holding a presser. Maybe. Keir Starmer might be holding a presser. Anna Sarwar. Oh, no. Everyone's going to be quiet now after Anna Sarwar. Did you listen to it?
I heard a bit of it in the car, yeah. He sounded like a snivelling weasel, I text you.
What? Yeah, but the tone he delivered it in. I was waiting for him to end with, and because of that, I'll be stepping down myself.
Yeah.
Because that was like what it sounded like. It's so weird.
I know. It was a weird one. But he basically came out and said that he would like Keir Starmer to step down, and that he'd been wrestling with himself, and he for days now, apparently. And then one of the questions pointed out, rightly so, afterwards, he said, Mr. Sarwar, you've tweeted in such and such 2024 a picture of you with your arm around Peter Mandelson saying, oh, great to see my old pal again, who's now the US ambassador. And he asked the I don't know which journalist it was, which outlet, but he asked him about it. He went, should he have been appointed? No, should he? And he just waffled it out. But, he's got his arm around Peter Mandelson saying my old pal. So he's up to his eyeballs in it as well. They all are. But Sarwar's made an absolute dick of himself, basically, because what's happened is nobody came out in support of Keir Starmer. They all held off until Anna Sarwar's press conference, waited for him to say that, and then they've all jumped out and came out in support of him afterwards. They knew what they were doing, totally. So they were holding fire. Because apparently Sarwar told the press that he'd spoken to Starmer about it this morning and told him that what he was going to do.
Mm.
So Starmer's obviously held his cabinet back until after the speech and then gone, right, off you go. And they've all now tweeted out in favour of Starmer saying we must back the Prime Minister. So Sarwar looks like an absolute lame duck now. He's just made
I
an
don't
absolute...
understand his thinking. Like I said,
No.
I think I've sent somebody else before, but I wondered if maybe he'd gone and rounded up some of the, well, not rounded up, but spoke to a load of the left-wing Labour and said, right, if I do this, you can jump on board. Why would you do it without doing that? It seems like political... I'm not supposed to say that word, am I? Because, shit, even though it's not in that context.
I'll beep it maybe, but no, I think it's absolutely right. Tom Swarbrick obviously managed to dig up one Labour MP who backed him up. I think Alec Leishman, I think his name is, and he said the exact same thing as Sarwar, but that was it. There's only one, and you know, Sarwar, as you said, is just he's so isolated now from the entire Labour leadership team. He's just put himself out there on the plateau on his own. He's like out on the frozen ice, as it were, to use another laboured metaphor.
Yeah, he's jumped on with him, hasn't
he? Yeah, totally. So I don't know what his thought was. Really don't. But he's done it now, so. But
only quite. I mean, in recent times, that could be like 2 weeks, between 2 weeks and 6 months.
Yeah.
But I remember he'd said something that could have been misconstrued about Starmer, and Starmer actually went to bat for him. I was quite surprised at the time.
Did.
I was like,
did.
And
yeah, Starmer backed him. Yeah.
How queer?
Especially with
something we don't. You just never know.
I don't know. It's weird. It doesn't make sense to me politically. And the only other thing I've got to say about that was I tweeted this afternoon afterwards is when I was listening to the LBC, Sheila Fogarty, Lewis Goodall came on and he went, "This is it for Starmer. This is a fatal blow once Anas Sarwar stands up and calls for his head." He said, "This is it. That's the end." He said, "It's fatal for Starmer if this happens." But Starmer, see, you've got to give Starmer a bit of credit. He's not as stupid as he... I was about to use a really Scottish saying there. He's not as stupid as he's glaikit looking, which is what my dad used to say.
Not as green as his cabbage looking.
Yes, same thing. That's why he held everyone back until after that speech. He knew that's what was going to happen. Now he's made an absolute fool of Sarwar and Lewis Goodall, as it turns out. But you know, you've got to have a bit of patience in this game. Wait before you comment. Don't predict stuff in politics. Not on live radio an hour before it's about to happen, like so forcefully. Go on.
Pudding. Come here, please. She's playing with the mic lead.
Oh. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens in a bit with PLP, but I think Starmer's safe for a bit. Not forever, but I think he's safe for the foreseeable.
Angela Rayner says the Prime Minister has her full support. So.
Yeah, she tweeted it at about 3:00, and Lammy and Darren Jones, and they all did. Yeah, well, yeah, that's it, exactly. They'll give it.
They're all just so. They've all just. The ball is long gone. I don't know where their eyes are, cross-eyed, but they're just. They're all nuts. They've all lost the job description.
Yeah.
Well, the culture war is eviscerated, hasn't it?
Yeah, completely. I was thinking like that this morning. I was sort of just sitting staring at my computer screen, thinking of something to write, and there's just too much. There's no stability, predictability. Everything's just fucking up in the air. Nobody knows what's going to happen 1 minute to the next. So, God knows where we are.
Well, we found ourselves in a vacuum of morality and integrity, haven't we? And this is that upshot, people. This is what happens when you behave like an absolute bellend and go against every tale of moral failure ever told.
I know.
Guess what happens?
And it's just so disappointing that we were all so jubilant in 2024 July, thinking this is the end of this stuff, and here we are coming up to a year. We're a year and a half later now, and it's just the same. Nothing's changed.
I mean,
I mean,
some of us partied and had a great time for one night, and then it was careful what you wish for. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna have to remove my cat before she destroys any more of my equipment.
yeah, do that.
Oh, no need.
Go on.
Oi! No. Just no. That's told her.
Cool. Yeah. So, yeah, Labour Party, I don't know. Have you got anything else on them? Because I think we have, again, it's a wait and see job now with next few days, next few
Yeah, I mean,
weeks. But
I don't know if I
Gorton's,
mentioned, but
sorry, go on.
no, I was just going to say I've been watching Sky today, and he must have upset Murdoch because everyone is just campaigning for him to go and saying what Lewis Goodall said
Same on LBC.
that I've
Yeah.
seen. It's all he's got to go, he's got to go, he's got to go. Well, what are we manifesting here?
Yeah, I know. I put a tweet out this morning. Let me find it actually, because it's a kind of tongue-in-cheek tweet. Oh, sorry. But it's kind of a bit mad on Twitter. Let me find it. Because, yeah, I was sort of staring at my screen this morning thinking, I wake up in the morning, I think, oh, I'm going to tweet something profound and extremely exciting.
Yeah,
Some
I just
days
wake
it
up in
works.
the morning and go.
No, I always try and put out at least one in the morning when I get up, because I think my brain's functioning at its best after my first cup of coffee. But anyway, this morning was a bit like 1,000-yard stare into the Twitterverse. But anyway, I just wrote this morning, if I were Keir Starmer, I'd call everyone's bluff and call a general election right now. That's what the far right are screaming for, right? Could Farage round up 650 vetted candidates within 4 weeks? No, of course he couldn't. I said it would be savage. But Starmer's never going to do that. But that would be the boss move, wouldn't it? Because I think someone said that on the radio to Tom Swarbrick, and he went, "Oh, but he'd lose. He'd be absolutely annihilated." It's like, well, it's not him that's in being elected. It's constituency MPs, and I don't think it would be that bad, because I don't think Reform could stand up 650 people in a month before a stat general election. No way. So
that's a cracking idea.
It's a boss move, isn't it? It's like, right, I'm doing it. Snap general election. Call it for 4 weeks' time, 6 weeks' time, whatever the minimum is. And then Farage is absolutely on his arse. Then he's got him pinned down. He won't do it, but I just thought.
No, yeah, annoying. But
I think
but he's a right wing fucking Labour man, isn't he? So
yeah, he is. I think worst case scenario, if he actually had some balls and went ahead and did something like that, is he'd lose votes to the Greens and the Lib Dems. I think the Tories might get moved into third, and then but Reform might get a few extra MPs, of course, but they wouldn't.
But it's still fire them off for another 5 years, wouldn't it?
Yeah, they wouldn't win a general election. They just wouldn't. So
that's a really interesting idea. That. Because you're right. I mean, there's not a chance Reform will get anywhere close right now, because they still did that. I didn't read it, but I saw an article on Twitter saying something about Reform have announced their first front bench or shadow cabinet or something.
I saw something like he was going to pick his
8 people.
Yeah, I know.
Are they doing job shares with themselves?
Yeah, you need about, on average, I looked this up actually not long ago, it's about 22 people as a rough cabinet, like, for the Prime Minister. So they're still 16 short at the moment. So no matter how many Tory MPs they blag, they're still going to be way short of a cabinet. But yeah, it's very amusing.
That's a hell of an idea. Why are they not doing that? Why is that not being announced on Sky right now? Breaking news. The King has made clear in words and through unprecedented actions his profound concern at the allegations which continue to come to light in respect of Mr. Mountbatten Windsor's conduct. While the specific claims in question are for Mr. Mountbatten Windsor to address, if we are approached by Thames Valley Police, we stand ready to support them, as you would expect. Whatever. How about you just
good
off?
Yeah. Oh, no, I mean, yeah.
So I'm not supposed to swear, am I? But Jesus, these people are liberty takers. Liberty-taking psychopaths.
Yeah.
The absolute worst of us.
I know. I know. We're going to come on to the aristocracy in a little bit, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's just finish up with Labour, I think, unless you've got anything more to add to it, because
No.
I think, we've talked about McSweeney and Starmer and what have you, but I don't think there's much more going on apart from, as you say, the media is absolutely in meltdown. I mean, that was the term I heard on LBC coming back from the hospital. I think, what's her name? Oh,
Tudor Fogarty?
no, the political editor on LBC. I've just completely gone up. I had a brain. But anyway, she said number 10 is in meltdown. I was like, genuinely don't think it is. You want it to be. You're desperate for it to be in meltdown, but I don't think it's as bad as everyone's clamoring for.
The media's in a feeding frenzy.
Yeah, exactly. They definitely are. They're baying for blood. Yeah. So, yeah. What do you want to talk about next?
I wanted to highlight the Filton 24 case because there's been a bit of movement on that lately. You may remember it's quite incredible actually. I've just read up on the details today. The government overreach is outrageous. So members of Palestine Action, 6 of them broke into Elbit Systems some months ago.
Israeli Defense Company.
Who are manufacturing drones for Israel, and they went in. One of them had a pickaxe, and there's video of them attacking the machinery with the pickaxe, and I think there might have been a sledgehammer involved. 6 of them were arrested on site for. I haven't got my phone because we're having recording issues today, people. I'm awfully sorry. But they arrested 6 of them. They then went on to arrest another 4. Then a couple of days later, they arrested another 14 to bring it up to 24. So what they did, they've charged the 6 of them with like burglary and aggravated assault. Now they didn't. I think I need to read up on the definition of burglary. There was no aggravated assaulting of people. They were there to destroy machinery to stop it killing people. Breaking in is illegal. Yeah. Okay, charged with breaking and entering, trespassing, whatever. But unfortunately, the government had prescribed Palestine Action. And because the radical people over in the Middle East control everything, they wanted them treated with the heaviest hand physically possible on this aisle. So they put massively trumped up charges on them that doesn't relate to what actually happened. Put out a load of lies about one of them breaking a police officer's spine. That didn't happen.
That's right.
There's no record of any police officer having any broken bones whatsoever. It's a nonsense, but the media are going with it anyway. And they charged 14. No, hang on. I used to do maths. 18 people. So the 6 that were arrested and charged, they were acquitted last week. All bar one that's still to be heard.
Right.
18 are still on remand, charged with joint enterprise.
Really?
Now, if the people who committed the crime have been acquitted, there's no joint enterprise to be had. So why are they still locked up?
Yeah, they should be out. No,
Worse than
really
that.
Bad.
Worse than that, and annoyingly, I put it on my laptop might be dead. Worse than that, the CPS have decided to potentially retry the case.
Yeah, so they're looking at a second trial. Yeah.
So I went to Google, and please still be here, and please still work. And that's not what I looked up. So I'm just going to type it in again. That's
they basically didn't get the verdict that they were hoping for, so they're thinking about going again.
Yeah. Now, if we go, there's Google. So if we go to Google, we type, how often do the CPS UK retry cases? And guess what Google says?
Rarely.
Exactly that. The Crown Prosecution Service rarely retries cases after a jury fails to reach a verdict, with third retrials, second retrials in parentheses, being exceptionally rare and requiring approval from a chief Crown prosecutor based on extreme gravity, and powerful evidence. Retrials usually follow hung juries or trial of serious offences under strict Double Jeopardy Act 2003.
Which is a load of nonsense then, right?
It's a load of, it's utter nonsense.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. It basically, what I'm just
Government
looking on.
overreach gone
Yeah,
nuts.
it really is.
And now, again, they're hoisted by their own.
Yeah. So I'm just reading this is from the Bristol Cable. I just quite quickly found it. It says some of those on trial were held on remand for over a year, far exceeding the 6-month statutory limit. Human rights groups and campaigners said the activists were treated like terrorists despite no terror charges being brought. That's the key to that fact, isn't it? There's no terror charges, so it's not a serious. It shouldn't be serious enough to warrant a retrial.
They weren't dangerous to people. They were dangerous to machinery that was being made to kill people. It's quite the thing.
No. Yeah, exactly. It's just
and worse than that. If you, sorry, I was just going to say, if you read up on like the case before they were acquitted, the judge directed the jury to find them guilty. To the point where the KC had to stand up and make what was described as like a landmark speech about how the law works. And if you don't believe these people had premeditated reason to go and harm human people like security officers and the police, then you should find them not guilty. In the video, I don't know if it's a policeman or a security guard running towards them, but they are, I don't know if it's body camera or they were filming themselves.
Yeah.
They were filming themselves running towards somebody attacking with a bullwhip.
A bullwhip. I saw that video. It's crazy.
Bullwhip! Who has one of them handy?
I know. Yeah, I know. I saw that video. That's really grim. Like, why are security guards carrying bullwhips? Yeah.
One of the coppers took one of the sledgehammers off one of the Filton people and hit him in the face with it. He can be seen on video saying, "Why aren't you charging him? He's just hit me in the face with the sledgehammer and none of you are talking about it."
Jesus. Yeah, it's no good. It's no good at all.
It's a banana republic is what it is.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know. They need to be released and just let out. And I don't know. The jury didn't find them guilty.
Prescribed because they are not a terror organisation.
Well, I mean, that's maybe we could do an entire episode on that. But yeah, definitely right on that. It should be, So yeah, so sort of good news and sort of bad news on that one, isn't it? It's sort of 6 cleared, but maybe might have to face another trial, plus the other 18 still waiting.
It's just appalling, isn't it?
It is. It's really shocking.
And bearing in mind it's Starmer that's overseeing all of this.
It's so high profile, though. I mean, they should be moving it on as quickly as they possibly can because it's making, as you just said, it's not exactly making the government stand in good light. So
what they should be doing is trying to cut all ties with people who are performing genocide and helping them.
Yeah,
that's what they should be doing.
Yes, obviously, yeah, we know that. But it would behoove the government to get rid of this trial because it's not good for them because it's making them look really tyrannical.
Vexatious.
Yeah, exactly. So let's see. Hopefully that comes to they don't get a second trial. I mean that would be just wrong in all counts, wouldn't it? So
yeah,
we shall keep an eye on that without a doubt. So what else we got? What else?
Speaking of moral failure, can we roll the clip I sent you, please, and then we can talk about that?
Yes, I'll put it in here.
He knew everybody that was very powerful. So, like, if you were on the scene and you were powerful, like, to be honest, like, if you're not in those files, it would be an insult because it just means that you were a bit of a loser.
Right. So the people who aren't in the files are losers.
Yes.
Okay. Are you in the files?
Well, of course I am, because it's any journalist that wrote about it.
That's an astonishing attitude, isn't it? You're the loser because you're not in this. I find that jaw-dropping.
Awesome. So, yeah, that was Victoria Hervey.
Lady Victoria Hervey.
Where do you even start? Shall we just talk about what we talk about every week, which is moral failure? And she, as awful and as I don't know what the word is. Irritating,
Yeah.
because I can't think of
Good.
anything bigger as it,
Yeah.
Yeah, she's saying it out loud. She's actually saying it out loud and without a hint of awareness that she's outing herself as happy to be a psychopath.
Yeah. She is. I mean,
So now they're saying it out loud. Can we deal with these people, please?
yeah, I think so. I mean, it needs to be done. It
They're
needs to be
not
said.
well.
No, she's not. I told you I used to know somebody who knew her from teenage years, and she used to tell me about what a stone cold nightmare she was as a teenager and just an attention seeker, and this kind of it's just childlike behavior, isn't it? If you're not in the files, you're a loser. I mean, oh, come on.
Do you know
How
what?
old
That
are you?
attitude is exactly the same as the woman I used to work for at the Spectator, who considered herself a lefty, which is ironic when you're the heiress of a banking family.
Oh yeah.
But she was equally as terrible, and they look at everybody else like they're morons.
Yeah,
because their reality is so altered and
it's
fake.
warped. Yeah,
And
completely and utterly.
These people are a problem.
Yeah, it's deranged. It's utterly deranged. I mean,
we've got to abolish the monarchy. They're literally what's holding it all together in this country, anyway. You know, that woman is loosely related to the royals. I can't remember how.
Yeah, she is. She's. Oh,
but
yeah.
they're all just cookie cutter, spoiled brats.
Yes.
Who grow up feeling superior and then end up ruling over us being superior. It's beyond.
Yeah, I know. I'm just looking what her connection is. I just saw it. Oh yeah, she's the sixth Marquess of Bristol. Yeah, that's what she is, lady.
She's a knowledge-free see you next Tuesday is what she is.
Yeah, she is. No, it's absolutely disgraceful. I mean, how can you come out with all the news, all the publicity? That is just literally her going, "Look at me! No, look at me! No, look at me! I want to be the center of this." And obviously, Tom Swarbrick, who I despise with every fiber of my being, is the one who's there, who's going. But did you see the clip? In the clip, he's laughing along, ha ha ha, yeah, ha ha, and then he sort of puts on this faux kind of reaction to when he was away from her and back to his own show on his own.
Right, then you either do it in person and be honest about your reaction,
which
or
he
you
didn't.
just don't.
Yeah, which he just didn't. He let her do it and he laughed and giggled along with her. And then went on and put up this faux reaction afterwards. No, not good enough. Not good enough from her. Not good enough from LBC. Not good enough from anyone.
You're just advertising the psychopath.
Yeah, lets everybody down, that one. It's really, really bad.
But I'm glad she did it because we've got it on record forever now.
Oh yeah, as you said, yeah, it's out there now. We know who she is, and everybody knows. But she was at, I don't know, I haven't looked at today's ridiculous reform conference, but she was at last week's ridiculous reform conference. She was sat in the second row behind someone else. She was pointed out that she was in attendance, and someone sent me a photo of her with Nigel Farage. So she's a big reform person now, obviously, because it's, you know.
Well, she doesn't give a shit about politics. It doesn't affect her in any way, shape or form.
It's bandwagoning, isn't it? She's just there to sort of get her face on telly. Yeah, exactly. So she just wants to be. She was kind of famous a little bit in the sort of 90s and 2000s, wasn't she? She was sort of around a bit, a socialite, as they call it. Yeah, exactly. That was it. And she's obviously wants a bit more attention, so she's come out and saying stupid stuff like she did in that clip. Nuts.
She doesn't think it's stupid though. She thinks it's, you know, like words from a sage.
Yeah, maybe she does.
They all need locking up and putting in a secure room, don't
they? I know. Not good at all. Not good.
So, yeah. I would be doing more on moral failings.
Yeah.
Until I stop.
Talking of moral failings, should we talk about reform and their donors and Jeffrey Epstein?
Yeah, let's talk about that. Because
I wrote a nice long article last week about it. And yeah, it's gone down quite well as it happens, because I did some research into it, and primarily it's about Nick Candy, who I think until today is still the party treasurer of Reform UK.
Just
yeah.
sorry, just a little addendum. Turns out party treasurers always go on to become a lord.
Do they really? I didn't know that.
Oh yeah.
Oh well, so Farage just promised him a peerage then, has he? That seems to be the.
You can Google that. Put your house on it.
That I believe you.
Don't
No,
do that.
that makes sense then. But Nick Candy was sort of announced by Farage like end of 2024 as the party treasurer. He went to see Elon Musk and said he was going to get loads of money off Elon Musk connections, and then said he was going to donate £1 million to Reform, which he actually hasn't done. Well, not officially anyway. He's only donated £500,000 so far. But he is what's the word? Elbows deep in the Epstein files.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I did some research, and he's in 58 separate pages of the Epstein Files. The Candy brothers are mentioned, and a lot of it's duplications, but I went through all of them and picked out some of the most kind of...
this is after Epstein went to prison, I assume.
Well, the first instance is in 2004, and he was messaging someone called Sarah Kellen, who was Jeffrey Epstein's assistant in his Manhattan office. And according to reports, she basically did exactly the same job as Ghislaine Maxwell. She found girls for people. That's what she did. It was her job. And she's been up to her ears in that. What's up?
Sorry, the candles on the telly. It makes me feel sick.
Yeah, fair enough. But yeah, so he was well involved with her and Ghislaine Maxwell. Ghislaine Maxwell talks about him in the Epstein Files as well. And like she said, I know and like those guys. They're brilliant. They're great guys. About the Candy brothers. And then, yeah, there was loads of property deals done. And I think, Candy was trying to do property deals with Jeffrey Epstein from 2010 onwards. And he was obviously convicted for the first time in 2008. So, the case...
given where money's involved.
No. Exactly. No, especially not when he's offering apartments to Jeffrey Epstein for £40 million and £80 million for his one Hyde Park development. So, yeah, I'm not sure. It's unclear if Epstein actually did buy one from him, but someone that did was a guy called Leon Black, who was one of Epstein's best friends and was sort of one of the original trustees of the Leon Black Foundation was Jeffrey Epstein. Mm-hmm. They were buddies. But yeah, Nick Candy sold him a property in New York for about 50 million quid. So, yeah. And yeah, I wrote in my piece, it says, one final note on Candy. He was mentioned in an email exchange between Peter Mandelson and Jeffrey Epstein. Mandelson was aware of Nick Candy. So
it's a small world.
Yeah, this whole performative bullshit about, Farage calling for Starmer to step down because of Peter Mandelson. Like one of his primary donors, like this in the Epstein Files, he's all over it.
Hypocrisy isn't a thing for them, is it?
No, they don't care. They do not give monkeys.
They really should do.
Well, they should, but there's 5 people in the current donors list from the Electoral Commission that donated to Reform in the last year that are really involved in the Epstein Files. One was called Dave. Go on.
No, I was just going to say that it's a very small world at the top of that. Everybody knows everybody.
Well, there's one guy called David Lilly who I wrote about in my dubious donations last year.
Name rings a bell.
Yeah,
he's from years ago.
He's been involved with the Tories, and then now he's been donating to Reform for a couple of years. But he owns land in Russia and he never gave up any sort of rights to his land in Russia. Still owns it as far as I know today. He approached Epstein in 2009, so the year after he'd been convicted for the first time, because Epstein went to a very, very open prison for that conviction.
Yeah.
And he went to Epstein for a $7 to $10 million investment for his farm in Russia. Unclear as to whether he got it or not, but he went for it, knowing that Epstein was a had been put in jail for
It's not
child.
just money laundering, and that it must be.
Well, this guy David Lilly, who owns farmland in Russia, in the proposal that he sent to Jeffrey Epstein, I found this in the files. It lists the shareholders of this farm in Russia, which is called the Andropovsk Farms. Anyway, it says the shareholders, 44.71% of the shares of that land are held by the Russian administration. So he's tied into sort of farmland with Russia, still is to this day. There's a couple of others, but the other one, and this is something that one finance guy who we talk about a lot, who's amazing, and he's been on this one since the beginning, is a woman called Becky Fatemi. And Becky Fatemi was, at one point, she has been, at 17 years old, she was a personal assistant to Diddy, which is alarms at 17 as well. But she then moved on and she became this sort of social PA, and she was a PA to Naomi Campbell. And through Naomi Campbell, she got to meet Epstein, and they all sort of linked up through the fashion parties and stuff like that. So she's mentioned in the files, I can't remember, 42 times. But the really interesting thing with Becky Fatemi, apart from being knowing Epstein from back in the day from the sort of social scene, she moved into property, and she started a company called Rockstone, selling kind of elite property level stuff, and then became a bit more involved with Epstein. I don't think she ever sold anything, but they knew each other. And then there's an ongoing case this is as of today, started, sorry, I'm just trying to see it, 27th of June last year. A man called Michael Brown is suing someone called Nick Candy about a property deal that went bad. Now, on the list of defendants for Nick Candy is Becky Fatemi. She's one of his defendants because she's a property and real estate person at that point. Also on the list of defendants is Rockstone, which is her company, Sotheby's International, which I'll come on to in a second, and Holly Valance Candy, because she was then married to Nick Candy. She's no longer. But this is the list of defendants against this Michael Brown in the property deal. Now, the Sotheby's connection is because, and the Reform connection, sorry, is Sotheby's International Realty donated £100,000 to Reform in August of last year. It was a new donation. And guess who is, let me just get her title. Oh, no, where is she? Oh, I can't find it. She's a partner in Sotheby's International Realty now, as of today. And they donated £100,000 to Reform. And they're part of this legal action that's going on with this property deal. And they're all absolutely up to their neck in Epstein. I mean, it's just one of Becky Fatemi's aliases. This is named in the legal defense. Her actual name is Fatemi Barak, a.k.a. Becky Fatemi, a.k.a. She Diddy. That's in a legal court case. She Diddy. She's weird. She's an odd one.
That tells you everything you need to know, doesn't it?
It does. It does.
Oh, the Gandhari's mixed up in it as well somehow.
They are, but it's
Sotheby's.
Yeah, Sotheby's, they're big art dealers. So that's another thing that one finance guys are going through at the moment. And I think Nick as well, Mr. Ethical, but mainly one finance guy on the Gandharis. There's stuff going through courts in Montenegro and various other places, which, and Monaco, I believe, which he's been messaging me about, and he doesn't want to prejudice any trials, but they're involved in a legal case in Europe at the moment. So, yeah, all of these people are absolutely, inextricably
keeping
linked
lawyers
with it all.
fed.
And as I said at the end of it, I said, nearly all of these discoveries that I found took place after Epstein's first conviction in 2008. Only some of the early emails with Nick Candy and Sarah Callan predated his conviction. So everyone involved in that knew who Epstein was when
That's
they
where
went
moral
into
failure leads to.
It does. It absolutely does.
Bring back the Marquis de Sade.
Yeah.
At least he was honest about who he was.
Yeah. He was out in the open. Yeah. But, yeah. It just reeks. All of it. It's absolutely mad. And so Farage, if anyone's listening, wants to call him out, point them to my article, because he's up to his neck in it, and he's shouting about Starmer and Mandelson. I haven't got a leg to stand on, Reform UK. And I'm chasing down some leads at the moment. Someone sent me yesterday about Richard Tice's connection to the Epstein Files as well now. So an ex business of his was good partners with someone called Colony Capital. They were business partners, and that was run by a man called Tom Barrack, who's in the Epstein Files something like 400 times. So, they've got nothing, Reform. They can't say anything because they are up to their ears in it.
So we've experienced the thing. Is this the finding out?
Well, yeah, hopefully.
Takes so long.
It does
But
take a
anyway.
long time. But a good guy on Twitter, Harry Eccles, Harry. Yeah. He was writing about Nick Candy as well the other day, and we've just sort of touched base, and we're determined to keep this up and out in the open because this is what
we've got to keep the pressure on. It's the only way we're going to get out of the tunnel. Definitely.
So, yeah, I got one more thing about Reform this week, which was from this morning, which is Robert Jenrick, because I keep forgetting he's Reform. It was on Sophie Ridge on Sky News this morning, talking about the fact that the police are investigating Reform UK for electoral crime, whatever the term is, because they sent out a letter, a granny letter, as it was. That's what they call it, apparently. Matthew Collins from Hope Not Hate posted that the other day. And they forgot to put the imprint on it. And the imprint is where it says produced and manufactured by Reform UK or courtesy of Reform. Yes, exactly. And they don't have to put a logo on it as long as they've got this imprint on it somewhere so you know who it's from. But they sent out thousands of these letters without the imprint, so nobody knew where it came from. And Reform have blamed the printing company, who are called Harding Print Solutions. And Robert Jenrick was asked about it by Sophie Ridge this morning. And he said, the printer made an honest mistake. It's a perfectly normal thing. It's not a big issue, he said. But
it is, Robert.
It really is, because the police are investigating. But what he said twice to Sophie Ridge on live TV this morning was it was just a local printer in Manchester made a mistake. He said that twice. Now, I just had a quick look at the Electoral Commission spreadsheets, as I like to do, and payments.
You're weirdo.
I know, yeah. As payments.
Sorry.
It's all right.
It's a weird little hobby of yours.
Yeah, it is. I like spreadsheets. But
I'm joking.
Reform UK since 2023 have spent with Harding Print Solutions, who are not from Manchester. Here, the ones who printed this leaflet, they're based in Felton, in West London. They've spent £1,443,419.19 since 2023 with this.
That's a lot of leaflets.
Not in Manchester, yeah, exactly. Mainly, if you look on the spreadsheet, it tells you what they're for. And it says unsolicited material to electors, all of it bar one, which is advertising. But at one point, they paid £462,000 for leaflets. Another one, they paid £172,000 for leaflets. And this company, who is definitely not in Manchester, that Robert Jenrick lied about, is not a local printer. They've been at it. And another good account on Twitter, Political Satirical, pointed out over the weekend, they wrote a really good article about this has happened twice. They did it in the Wirral, and they did it and they did it in Caerphilly as well.
Oh, was it
Caerphilly? Yeah, in the Caerphilly. So this is the third go they've had at this electoral fraud, and that's what it is. It's electoral fraud.
You know what they could say? 3 strikes and you're out. So
should be.
Up, lads.
Yeah, I know. So yeah,
what is likely to be like their punishment though?
Well, who did I see? I can't remember who I saw yesterday. Wrote on Twitter, someone credible though, said that even if they win the by-election in a couple of weeks, the 26th, Potentially it could go to court and be overturned if they've committed electoral fraud, which it looks like they might well have done.
No,
So.
but that surely it should be investigated regardless of what happens with Goodwin.
Well, it should do. It should. And it is being, the police are looking into it at the moment, although I've had a little tip off from someone this afternoon saying that it looks like maybe the police are going to drop it. Don't know how true that is yet, but it's come from a fairly reasonably well-connected source at Left Turn Media, so they're on the ball about this.
So we're ignoring potential electoral, well, guaranteed electoral fraud because we can all see it out in the open. They've done it, and we're retrying people who battered a bit of machinery and caused vandalism.
Yeah, I know.
Moral failures, moral failings.
Well, that's the episode title this week, definitely. Moral failing, yeah.
This whole country's
you're
moral
right.
failure.
You're right. And, I wrote a thing about there. I just want to say one more thing. Sorry, Matthew Collins, who was a member of the BNP. We talked about him, I think, when we were in Clacton. I'd love to get him as a guest. He was played by Stephen Graham in the Netflix documentary about him when he turned and sort of was an undercover operative within the BNP, in the National Front.
Ah, right, okay.
And now works for Hope Not Hate.
You meant from Hope Not Hate?
Yeah. He works for Hope Not Hate, Matthew. So, yeah. He put a post out the other day saying that straight from the horse's mouth, the granny letter is an old BNP tactic. And he put a screenshot of Eddie Butler, who was at the end. Yes, the BNP.
Not Welsh Eddie Butler.
Not the rugby Eddie Butler, no. The BNP Eddie Butler. And he said he was at this. Eddie Butler had said, this is not, we used to do this. But even back in the day, he knew in the BNP of all people.
That you had to put the small prints on it?
Put the imprint on. And he said that one time, Eddie Butler said that they got some leaflets back without the imprint, and then they had to get stickers printed, and they put stickers on the bottom. So that even the BNP knew. So,
how to do it right?
Reform doing...
Enough to go and get more stickers printed.
I know.
Get worse than the old BNP. This is where we are now.
Reform are at it for the third time, and they're not even as electorally competent as the BNP were. Yeah.
Bring back Nick Griffin. I'm joking. Absolutely don't.
No, let's not have Nick Griffin. But yeah, it's crazy. It's absolutely mad. But this is the thing, in that Reform, they know what they're doing, right? This isn't a mistake from them. And I said they're extreme proponents of the theory of it's easier to ask for forgiveness than get permission, aren't they? That's what they do.
Yeah. Except it all adds up. And eventually...
Well, hopefully something will happen.
Look, I was saying today in one of my chat groups, Welsh Lou was getting a bit perturbed, and I was like, look, it's 3 years away yet. And reform are so heavily weighted on what happens in America. The minute Trump gets got rid of for being an absolute lunatic, reform are dead in the water.
Yeah, I agree.
Everything they do hangs on America. They are literally an American project. They might as well be.
Yeah, of course. They're a Bannon project, aren't they? Yeah, without a doubt.
They are. And we've seen from the Epstein release that every other hard right group they've gone after have missold themselves to Bannon. But you got Tel Aviv Steve and Farage to missell themselves to him as something they're not, which is clearly what happens in Germany and Holland and everywhere else. He's got the Fourth Reich, I was going to say. It's not what I meant. He's got the fascists in, and they've all gone, we're sound. We'll link in with you, and it'll all be fine. And it isn't. He's just lost one domino after the next. And Farage is he's no different. He's missold himself as something he isn't, capable of something he can't do. And Bannon's gone, that sounds good to me. You're right. You and me, we're the same. Yeah. You're fraudsters, and you've missold yourselves to each other. Behold.
I know, it's what I know. Yeah, it's so right. And the only far right leader really that's credible in inverted commas is Giorgia Meloni in Italy, who's got into power, and she's distanced herself from all that stuff. She's not even going to touch Bannon. Oh, you've got something to say? Go on.
I saw today that she has joined the We're Bored of Peace gang.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
I mean, Oh, no, I mean, I wasn't bigging her up because she's a right-wing nutcase, but
Yeah.
I was thinking, like, she had kind of kept herself distanced from the Bannon Brigade, but
I mean,
if she's paid the $1 billion to Trump, has she?
Oh, I mean, who knows? It's all over my arse, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, true.
It's just a gangsters club. You're either in or you're out. Come in the tent or we're going to threaten you. I bet you'll just off and go to prison. Sorry, doing it again, but it's exhausting.
No, I know. It is. It is. He's been quiet, though, hasn't he, Trump, the last couple of weeks, unsurprisingly, since that second shooting. Well, for him, he hasn't pirated a boat or invaded a country or threatened to take over another island, has he?
Did you hear about the Super Bowl?
No. Well, I've heard some of it. Oh, shit. I just thought of something else that Trump did do. He hasn't been quiet. Go on, tell me what about the Super Bowl.
No, just at the halftime because the Bad Bunny was brought in to do the halftime bit. Yeah. And obviously he's like Hispanic, so he's very anti-ICE and all the rest of it. And loads of advertisers were paid to put anti-ICE adverts up. So he decided he didn't want to go and get booed. So they did a special party at Mar-a-Lago and had a concert. A halftime concert headed by Kid Rock, right?
Kid Rock, yeah.
They couldn't stream because all their tech up, and then apparently he was lip syncing out of time.
Yeah, he was. I saw the video. Yeah.
They're mad people.
Kid Rock's the only sort of musical artist that anyone's ever heard of that goes near Trump nowadays, isn't he?
Kid Rock has got lyrics that encourage paedophilia in his songs.
That doesn't surprise me at all. He's a horror show. God, I lost my breath there. Yeah.
So it goes along something along the lines of statutory age that I call it mandatory or something.
It's
well then
he fits in well at Mar-a-Lago then, doesn't he? Yeah. No, sorry, I just remembered something that did happen over the weekend in Trump that he put out that video of the Obamas, which was absolutely disgusting.
I thought you were going to talk about him shouting himself, but yeah, that also happened. What does he have to do again? What does he have to do?
I don't know. That's the thing. It seems to have been completely glossed over. I think there was one guy on Sky News, and I can't remember his name. I'll find it for the edit, but he called him out. But other than that, it's just like everyone's gone, yeah, well, it's just Trump, innit? He's a racist, but like it was absolutely horrendous. If nobody saw it, if anyone didn't see it, he put out a video on True Social of the heads of Barack and Michelle Obama on two monkeys. It was just unbelievable.
Their excuse was that they also put Biden on an ape. Yeah, but Biden's white, so it's not a trope, is it? Imbeciles.
Yeah. I know.
Sorry, you're going to have to do a lot of bleeping on this pod. I'm also sorry.
It's all right. Yeah, we're still trying not to swear as much because of, the algorithm. Let's see. But
maybe a duck quack or something.
Yeah, I'll find a funny noise.
Right.
Find R2D2 noise, I think. No, I'll probably get sued for that. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. We're everywhere. Everything's going completely berserk all the time again. We're in February and everything's getting worse still.
Imagine by December.
I know.
I'll be covered in wrinkles and you'll have no hair.
Yeah, exactly. You're like this. Oh. Welcome to episode 5,000 of No Holds Barred.
Watch out for them potholes, Don.
Yeah. They're getting deeper out in the Shire.
Oh.
Yeah, I think on that bombshell, maybe we should wrap things up for now.
Yes.
Unless you've got anything else to talk about.
I have to go out and celebrate being a mum for 20 years.
Yeah.
It's been difficult 2 decades, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
You live and learn.
Yeah, well, no, go and have a nice meal. That'll be nice.
20 years, and I'm really sorry for bringing you into all this.
Yeah. Yeah. No, definitely.
But anyway,
so, yeah, cool.
So please, if everyone could like, share, subscribe, do the biz. Share us about.
Do that, please.
Really, really help.
Go to Patreon, patreon.com/No Holds Barred Pod. We've got 2 subscribers, I forgot to tell you, so far.
Thank you, people.
They've signed up for our free trial, so that's good.
Yeah, okay. We're going to have
So
to.
hopefully we need to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to figure this all out now. We've put out some stuff that we're going to do on Patreon. Now I have to put it into practice. Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome.
I'll work that out tomorrow morning. So yeah, cool. Right.
Fabulous.
Let's go.
Right.
Catch you all later in the week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Bye.